Test 1, 2, test. Am I on? Let's see. I'm just checking. Yeah, I guess I am. That's weird. Yep, we're live. How's it going, folks? Just thought I'd jump on here before I'm just back at the hotel. I was taking a little break from NAMM. It's crazy. Hey, Brad. Brady again. Joe Hervey's in here. What's going on? Morris Dilbert's in here. Jack the Rabbit. 6 string and 10 fingers. Awesome. Oh yeah, I guess I'm using StreamYards. I never used StreamYards for myself. Like I've joined shows that have StreamYards, but I've never did my own broadcast using it. But can you guys hear me good? I hope you can. Yeah, can you get my email? Okay. All is good. Gotta find. Okay. All right. Let me know if you can hear me. So it was another crazy day. Just trying to do a little bit of editing before I go to the Supercross race, which is happening tonight here in Anaheim, which will be awesome because I've always wanted to attend a race at the Anaheim Stadium, which is kind of the birthplace of Supercross, and it's always a huge event. Never thought I'd get the chance to do that, but it worked out perfectly that NAMM was happening on the same weekend that race was happening. So I got to take off here in probably another hour and a half, take an Uber. I think it's only a few miles away from my hotel, but apparently traffic, you never know, can be a little bit dicey. So I will, that's what I'm doing tonight. The last couple of nights have been crazy with the events happening here. Did a couple of Gibson events, and last night was a Line 6 event, kind of a pre-press thing or whatever they were having, and it's pretty cool. Learned a lot of cool stuff, and there's some stuff I found out. I need to check with the Line 6 contact before I can actually tell you guys what that is, because I don't know if it's to be released yet or what. So, but I'll definitely let you know once they give me the go-ahead. Everything is clear. Sounds good. All right, cool. Congrats on missing the snow. Yeah, I guess you guys are, if you're in the East Coast anyway, you're getting hammered, because my wife called this morning and said that it snowed a lot last night and it's still snowing like crazy today. So I felt sorry for her, but nothing I could do from here. So I said, bunker down and just wait till it's done. And if it's too much, just call we have a guy that can come with a plow and just plow out if there's too much when I'm not there. Because when I'm there, I just use a snowblower and it's okay. But no, she's not going to use a snowblower. Let's see. Just checking the chat. Yeah, I guess I can read the chat here, but it's kind of weird. Okay, yeah, just started. Brad says just started around 2, expecting 12 inches. Yeah. Well, I think around 8 tonight Eastern, it should be done in my area, as far as Laredo's, like Alliston area, I should say, is concerned. So I hope it's all done and the roads are all cleaned up and stuff, because I leave Monday. By the time I get back home, it'll be Monday evening. So hopefully the snow is passed. But man, it is beautiful here. It's like, it's like 70 degrees or something today. So in Canadians term, that would be plus 20 or 22 and sunny. It's so weird to be in the middle of January and you're kind of in that environment, but it's yeah, I'm not complaining about it, that's for sure. Let me go back, see here. Just started. Man, this is weird because yeah, okay, cool. Bobby Lopez says, I saw something from, what guitar would you take home from the show? Probably the Gibson Les Paul 60th anniversary, the version 1. There's 3 versions of that anniversary guitar, and version 1 has more of the 59 neck, so the neck profile that I like. And but I like, there's a color that they have. It's kind of not really a reddish burst. It's more like a lighter burst, like a lemon burst or something, which looked really, really good. So that one, Yeah, I don't know. I tried a couple of Epiphones that they blew me away actually. I wasn't, you know, I didn't really expect them to be what they turned out to be. So if you're looking for a guitar, Les Paul or whatever Gibson type of guitar, and you don't want to spend a couple $1,000s, those Epiphones are really, really good quality, and the neck profiles on them are, yeah, I really think they're good. And for the price, man, yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with that. Perfect biking weather. Yeah, I know, right? I've seen a lot of bikes around here, and it's pretty weird over here because I was coming from the airport in an Uber on the highway, and there's a motorcycle that passed us, but he was between the two cars, so they can do lane splitting over here. And I don't know if I would. It's kind of cool that they can do that. I don't know if I would be doing that. Not the way that this guy was doing it, because it was pretty tight traffic, and he just blew by. It takes a second for a car to kind of just come out and go into the other lane, and you're toast because you don't have any reaction time when you're coming down the road that fast. But yeah, just I've seen a lot of bikes since I've been here, and a lot of nice cars too, like Ferraris and Bugattis, all kinds of weird names. But it's so weird. You run into these rock stars and people just, like in NAMM or whatever, you're just walking around and these people are just, a lot of them are getting to stop left and right, sign this, take a picture and all that. So I'm not that guy to just get autographs and stuff. So I kind of leave them alone, but I see them. That's why I live in California, Jack the Rabbit says. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Hank Hill says, digging the vids. Yeah, thanks, man. I've been trying to get as much as I can. I'm trying to release stuff that's, there's so many people releasing videos as the NAMM, it gets a little much. So I'm trying to do a few different things, not exactly what everybody else is doing, just concentrating on a few things that interest me and I know that my audience would like. So I try to go that route. And, sometimes it's a product, look at a product. Sometimes it's just a little video of it or my opinion on it. Live footage. I like to see, some, like, I've posted some live footage from the events, and some of the booths have, like the Friedman booth has a couple of guys playing in there. Really awesome. So I capture that stuff and release that stuff instead of the same, well, here's blah, 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 ESP and talk about them. I do a little bit of that, but that's not my focus. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Snow there now, Joe. Oh, great. Yeah, well, it sucks. Brad says, could you ask them if they have any lefties? Yeah, I think they do, Brad. I'm pretty sure that they do in the line. I don't know when they're available, but I did see some at the display, so there will be some. Man, this chat. I don't know if I want to follow it. Let me follow it on my iPad. It's probably easier. Okay, man, you guys moving here. Terry, by the way, just found a guy in town, Marlon Gibbons, whom is in a similar field as yourself. Is at NAMM too. Oh, cool. Hank Hill, how did it sound inside the venue that Slash was playing? And I imagine it sounded really good, actually. The video that I took, it's okay, but it didn't do it justice compared to being there in the event, because it sounded obviously a lot better live. And, we were a little bit further back. It was a pretty big venue, actually. And, but what a show. My God, every artist that was coming up on stage to play, you just couldn't believe it. It was, Billy Gibbons gets on stage, and then Slash, and then Don Fielder from the Eagles, and Jared James Nichols, who is an absolute beast to me, that's the best guitar player I've seen all week. And I've seen some really good ones, like Phil X is amazing, and Andy Wood, and all these guys are really good. But man, when I saw him, and he doesn't play with a pick, he plays all with his fingers, and the stuff he was playing was like, wow. And he's got a great Epiphone signature guitar, which is a kind of, it looks like a Les Paul Custom black with the white binding, but it's a flat black and it has one P90 in it, and it has a nice neck on it too. So that's one that I'd be interested in picking up as far as an Epiphone goes. But yeah, so that's that. But I'll have more details on the whole show and what happened and all that stuff in the next week when I get back. Let's see. Bobby Lopez says, I saw a great Epiphone where the red cherry fade finish modern push pulls looks awesome. The finishes on the Epiphones are really nice. They're I would say they're just as good or the same as the Les Paul standards, because they're kind of matched in a way. Like they're using the same process to finish these guitars, and they're really, really nice. So definitely check them out once they start shipping. Lane splitting, yeah. Did you meet Slayer? No, but I heard that Gary Holt was there. Not Gary Holt from our chat that we always get. The actual Gary Holt from Slayer was there, but I didn't see him. I just saw a picture from Facebook that somebody had seen him. So, but I did do something's coming out tomorrow. I think I just posted it, but I scheduled it for tomorrow. It's a company that does amp modeling, like for plugins for recording software and stuff. And they did something with Kerry King of Slayer, and I tried it, and I'm telling you, it blew me away. And I'm not, I like plugins and stuff like that, and I'll play with them, and some sound good and some sound okay. But I always tend to go back to the Helix for all my recording. But I tried that one today, and wow, it blew me away. It was really, really good. So look for that video if you're into Slayer and amp plugins and something new that's coming. And it's going to be shipping in February, and I don't think it's that expensive. So I think video releases tomorrow for me. Hey, James Severin, how's it going? Rick Hefner, how are you? Man, this chat's moving, folks, moving. Hank Hill says the product demos are usually trash because you can hear like 20 other demos. Yeah, right. So it depends on where you're doing the demo. A lot like the amp plugins and stuff like I'm speaking about, you have headphones and you can play. And I was fortunate it wasn't in the room, the main room. This company was in a separate room, so it was awesome because when you're in the main room, like the big one where the drums and the cymbals and oh my God, I don't know how these guys do it. The guys that actually work these booths, like where the cymbals are, I would go insane. I walked through there and I probably walked, like I was in there maybe 5 minutes just to get through that area to get to the next area. And man, I was like, holy shit. My brain was starting to, you can't even think. It's so weird. And there's even a guy there that's building a cymbal, or yeah, he's actually building or shaping a cymbal. And all he does all day is just bang on this cymbal, like with a little hammer or whatever. And that's all he does. He sits in this little area and just does that. And then you've got everybody around just hitting every cymbal and listening. And how do you even hear what a cymbal sounds like? Like you see a guy, like he's got his ear next to it and he's ding, 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 ding. And there's, decibel level is crazy with everybody else hitting the stupid cymbal. I don't know how they do it. It's just insane. Let's see. Hey, Janice Layla's in the house. Lizzie Hale, yes, that blew me away. I didn't expect her to be at the Gibson VIP concert thing that we were at the other night. That was a complete surprise because they didn't announce her in the beginning. The guy it was actually John Stamos who came out and announced, introduced people and was the MC of the night, which was kind of weird, John Stamos. And he came in and he announced, and tonight we have these great icons, and he said Slash, and he said Billy Gibbons and Don Felder, but he never said anything about Hailstorm. And then she came out, and I could see there was a girl that came out, and then when I saw that she was holding the white Explorer, I said, holy shit, that's Lizzie Hales. And she came out with her guitar player, and then Richie Faulkner was on the stage to play as well with her from Judas Priest. And there was another guitar player, and the drummer all night was, I can't remember his name, but he's a real popular drummer. And man, they played my favorite song of theirs, which is "I Miss the Misery," which I just got into. I got into this band just recently, Hailstorm. I was never really that aware of them, but recently I've been jamming with different tracks and listening to different things, and that was one of them. And one of my live shows on Monday nights, I started the show with that exact track, and then I get here and I'm watching her live, and she can sing. Holy cow! This was live, and there was no fuck ups, and it was high register, high energy the whole way through. So yeah, definitely a highlight of that show was, as far as singers go, she nailed it. Phil X was good. Yeah, Phil X was amazing. That was, and to be in that room to hear that, holy jeez, it was insane. I didn't videotape that one because there's so many other people in front doing the videotaping. I know that Robert Baker and those guys are all in the front too. So I said, I'm just going to enjoy this moment instead of having my phone or a camera in front of me and trying to concentrate on filming the show. I just put everything down and enjoyed that moment in the live setting that it was. And wow, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if the guys posted it on YouTube, but I know there's a bunch of guys that filmed it. So it must be out there on YouTube, because I think Hack or somebody was on last night and said he saw it. So if you haven't seen it, just go check it out. Phil X at the Gibson booth was really amazing, really amazing. Let me see. Just going through the chat here, guys. I'm trying to keep up with you. Hey, Brad. How's it going, Brad Miller? I've heard good things about the Line 6 pod. Yeah, the Line 6 pod is really cool. I wasn't expecting them to release a product like that, but then I went to see it, and I did an interview with the actual guys in Line 6 about it, and got a demo and listened to it and had headphones and tried it out stuff. It's really cool. I mean, for me, it wouldn't be something that I'm interested in because I have a Helix. If you have a Helix, it's not, unless you want to downsize and have something a little smaller, you're going to get the same sound quality. It's a different format. So, but it's an interesting product. It's really, really good as far as sound. It's the same as if you like a Helix, you're going to like that, and you're going to like the interface is a little different, but there's a lot of similarities. Let's put it that way. It's for people who don't want some people find the Helix a little too much, like overwhelming wise with settings and how you set up patches. This one simplifies that process quite a bit. So I think it's geared for that person who doesn't want to go all in on like a big modeler, but they like the modeling scene and they'd like to get into it first with a smaller system that's easier to understand, still has a similar workflow so they can learn on that. So that's what that Line 6 pod is really meant to be, in my opinion, but it does sound really good. So whenever it's out there, I don't know, did they say? Yeah, it's probably shipping real soon. So if you get a chance to try it at a music store, do try it. Hey, Quinton's in here. LA Music has a lot of new EPs listed starting 520, 860 Canadian max price. Yeah, the pricing on the new Epiphones is really good. And I'm telling you, the quality is there. I haven't tried them like plugged in through my system at home and stuff. So the nuances of the pickups and that thing, I don't know. But from what I heard and what they've told us as far as the specs and how they built the pots and everything is that's the same as a Les Paul standard. So I imagine it'd be just as good. So, and the finishes are really nice. Like when you feel the neck on them, it doesn't feel like cheap or anything. So you're getting a lot of value if you're into those types of guitars. Felix Brampton, boy, yeah, he's a Canadian guy, a monster player. Still say Jared James, man, is like, if you haven't checked out Jared James Nichols, just YouTube. And I mean, you can watch my video that I put up of him, but even that doesn't do it justice. I'm too far away to really see what he's actually doing. The sound is okay, but when you're there, obviously it sounds better. But definitely, he's got other videos online. Just check him out. He is really good. And he's a super cool guy. I met him. He was at the Gibson event the night before. There was another Gibson kind of pre-NAMM party right there at their booth that they let certain people in. And he was there and he was taking pictures with folks and that type of stuff. He didn't play that night, but I did meet him and he's a super nice guy, like really friendly and everything. So, What's the deal with Kramer Guitars? Kramer Guitars has some nice stuff, and I think they're still going and they're releasing some really cool stuff. That one they released for the Skid Row guitarist Dave Sabo, I think his name is, was really nice. I haven't tried them. I mean, I picked them up and felt the neck profile and stuff. See, that type of guitar for me is not really my style, so I'm not really drawn to that scene that much. I do appreciate what they are, and back in the '80s, everybody was playing them. But yeah, they're still going, so I don't see any problem with that. And some of the new stuff they're releasing is really, really sharp. So that's what I know about the Kramer stuff, Brad Miller. Let's see. Wow, awesome. Yeah. Quentin, can you explain this? I played part of Sammy Hagar's song during a live stream and got a copyright claim. No other audio but my guitar. Yeah, I can believe it. I get copyright claims every time I go live and do anything on guitar that's remotely like audible to the YouTube algorithm that says, hey, this is somebody else's song. But as long as it's not a copyright strike, you're okay. And if you're monetizing your channel, obviously you're going to lose the monetization on that particular video. So keep that in mind. Bam, bam, Ozzy, what's going on? Yes, I'm having a great time. I wasn't sure coming here. I was like, man, what am I getting myself into? And but I've met a lot of cool people. Hung out with, Ben and JJ's House of Jam is a really nice guy, and had hang out with him and Mike, the captain they call him. He's a really nice guy too. Hung out with him a lot. Eric, who else did we meet? Geez, there's so many people. Phil McKnight. I hang out with Phil McKnight and Tone King yesterday afternoon for like 2 hours. Went up to, there's a private booth for Dean guitars and Schecter guitars. They brought me up with them and was able to sit in on their interviews and all that stuff. So really, really cool experience. I wasn't sure. I thought it is a little overwhelming when you walk into that place and you see everything and you're trying to focus. And okay, I got to see this booth, or I want to talk to this person, or once you start walking in there, you really can get like, okay, I want to check that out. And before you know it, 2 hours have gone by and you haven't really done what you were trying to do initially. So tomorrow I've got an actual appointment booked in Dave Friedman's calendar. So tomorrow morning I'm going to meet up with him, and he's going to give me a quick interview to go over some of the new amps that he's got. He's released, I think, 3 or 4 new amps that are really cool. So he's going to give me the run through with that. So that's awesome. I didn't know I would be able to get an actual interview with him, because the guy's so busy. You go to that booth and it's always tons of people, and everybody wants to talk to them. So I'll be doing that tomorrow morning. So look for that video probably either Sunday night or Monday. It'll release. Let's see. Izzy has the pipes. Lizzie has the pipes. Yes. Just looking at the chat there. Just give me that. That's awesome, Brian. Not too many people just sit and enjoy the moment anymore. But yeah, that's true. When you're at a concert or any live event, so many people just can't. They just have to take their phone out and film or take pictures and all that stuff. And I understand that. I do it myself. But sometimes it's nice to just put that away and just enjoy the moment that you're in, and really focus on the player that's playing, and listen and really take it in, because it's a different experience when you're looking behind your phone and looking at the screen and trying to concentrate on your framing and audio, and like that's not living in in that moment, in my opinion. So that's why when I went to the Phil X thing, I was like, oh, I'm taking this one in like that, and let somebody else is going to film it. It's not always about getting the video. Phil X Rockstar, yeah. Brian, did you win? No, I didn't. I put my card, because everybody was putting their cards in on Wednesday night, the pre-party, they call it. A lot of dealers are in there, and they look at all the Gibson custom shop wall, and they put their business cards in there for a chance to buy that guitar. So because they want it for their inventory or whatever, right? So the one that I really liked, I said, oh, let me put my card in there just for fun, not knowing absolutely, like I'm not going to get it, but I said that'd be funny if they actually picked my card out of there and called me. But no, I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming they didn't pick the card. I have a Helix floor, so not really interested in the Pod Go. No, like I said, if you've got a Helix, probably the Pod Go is not something you're going to want unless you want to downsize. Let's see. Oh, the Helix updates. Yeah, I will let you know as soon as I can. I just don't know what they like. If some stuff they said we can't talk about because I don't know, like confidentiality or whatever it is. But there might be some stuff that it's okay to talk about. I just want to make sure before I start, blabbering about it. But I'll tell you one thing: it's really cool, and it's stuff that I wanted for a long time as far as stuff in the Helix. And I'm not talking about amps and pedals additions. I'm talking about usability and interface. So if you own a Helix, that's good news. Trust me. Hank Hill, have you seen the Neural DSP? I did, and I tried it. It's a cool unit. It's a lot smaller than a Helix, obviously, if you've seen the pictures. The interface is really cool, the touch screen, how it all works, and the foot switch is not just a stomp. It's actually, you can turn it like a knob. You don't see a knob, but if you take your fingers and you turn it, it turns a knob on the screen. So like a volume control or a gain or whatever. So the way they did the interface is really, really good. It sounded really good to me in the headphones, but again, that's just coming through headphones. I'd like to try it at home to compare it back to back with my Helix through the same monitors or through a powered cab, side by side, to really experience it, because it's hard when you're sitting there and there's a lot of noise going on. Even though you have headphones, you can get a sense for it. But so I can say it sounded good. Is it something that, from what I have heard and tried now, that I would move to that from a Helix? Not me, not right now anyway. I don't see a reason to. I don't think there's enough of a difference there. The difference to me was more in how they're modeling the power amp section. It's a little different than what the Helix does. So when you actually turn the knob for the volume or the gain, it really reacts like a real amp at that point. So you just turn it a little bit, it'll do like that. The Helix, sometimes you have to take a slider for volume or gain, and you're actually sliding it quite a bit before you start to get, the effect or whatever. So I found that was a little different. So I think the way they're modeling the power amp section of their amp modeling is a little different, and it's quite good. It's quite good. So, but I think if you own a Helix, I don't see a reason, unless you like to go to that interface, because the interface is very different than the Helix, obviously. I mean, it looks similar, the blocks and all that stuff, but the way you control stuff and move stuff around is very different. So it'll be an interesting thing. And we're still a long ways from getting that unit out into the, to people's hands, because I think they're looking at, what did he say? September. All the September ones are all sold out, by the way. There was pre-orders, and the guy said they're all sold out, and they're still taking pre-orders now. But if you pre-order one now, you won't get it till probably November, December at the best. So we're still a year away before we start to see these things in people's hands and really get an accurate assumption of what is going to be in the final, because these were prototypes, so they're not even finished. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the Neural thing. It is a cool product, don't get me wrong. Zach Thong, what's going on? Can you do me a favor? Bring me back some Anaheim weather. Yes, I wish I could bring it back home with me. I could live in this weather all year round. I'm telling you right now, it is. I like this place. I just don't like, there's a lot of traffic, and the way the roads are, like the highways are not great. Like I took an Uber from LAX to Anaheim, which is about 30 miles, and that's pretty much all highway. And I came in early afternoon on Wednesday, so the traffic was so. It was still a lot of traffic, but in rush hour, apparently it's just bumper to bumper. But the highway is not the greatest condition. Like, I think our roads in Canada are a lot better maintained than the ones here, from what I've seen anyway, from this general area. So I don't know, but yeah, the weather, and I don't know, it's beautiful in that regards. I would definitely live here for that. Let me see. Did you see Nags? Yes, I did see the Nags guitar booth, and yeah, they got some really nice stuff. Definitely pricey, quite pricey, but really nice. But I'm just not. Again, I'm very, I guess, in my ways as far as what I like for guitars, which you all know what it is Les Pauls and Tellys. So when I see other things that are quite different than that, I can appreciate them for what they are, but I'm not really drawn to them to say, oh, I'd love to have one of those type of thing. But they are great as far as the playability and how they're made and stuff. DR Guitars, what's going on? Nice to see you. It was fun. You had a late show last night, and I was laughing how you guys were talking about all kinds of stuff. Let's see. So I'm trying to get down the bottom of this chat. Quentin got his Tone King picks. Awesome. Yeah, Lewis from the Tone King is such a nice guy. He had some great, compliments for me as far as, because he watches my videos, and some of the stuff he was giving me as far as feedback was really, really nice. And, I really appreciated it. So, and I saw him again today when I was doing some stuff at Gibson, and he was filming some of the booth and stuff, and he came up and said hi and everything. So really, really nice guy. And Phil McKnight, same thing. I had a long discussion with Phil McKnight yesterday afternoon about, YouTube stuff and how he's managing all kinds of roles as far as YouTube and other things. And it was an interesting discussion. And for them to actually take the time to talk to who, like me, I'm nobody, right? It's pretty cool. That's the type of people I like, by the way. I appreciate somebody that's got a lot of success in something, but somebody who's got a lot of success and can still take time out for somebody who maybe just starting or is asking for advice. And I never take up a lot of time of anybody. I'm always really aware of that. So, I just ask a question if I have a question, but I never, some people will stand there for 20 minutes just jabbering, trying to keep these people there. And, these people have stuff to do. So, but yeah, they had no problem spending some time with me and talking. So that was awesome. All right. If you do have a question, tag me, because I'm trying to see it in the chat, and it's different. Trying to see it on here. And I'm using StreamYard, so I never use StreamYard to stream my own stuff, but it's pretty cool. It works. I need 1,000 subscribers to use the YouTube app on my phone and stuff when I'm out, if I wanted to live stream something. And I don't have 1,000 yet, so I can't do that. Right now I'm in my hotel room using my laptop. So I lived in Santa Ana and worked in Anaheim back in the 70s. Santa Ana is apparently really nice. San Diego is probably the best place, I think, from what I've heard. But never been there. Lars Guitars, what's going on? What's going on? Not Ottawa. The roads are horrible in Ottawa, are they? Well, they're horrible everywhere, but I think some places are a little bit better than others, and here they're pretty bad as far as maintenance of the roads. If you see my lighting change all the time, it's because there's a TV right above me, and it's rolling different things. So I'm not in my studio, so I can't control the lighting that much. Let's see. I'm not impressed with the new Gibson acoustic lines and what they've done with Epiphone. You're talking about Epiphone acoustic. I didn't really take too much time in the acoustic room, to be honest with you. I kind of walked through quickly and tried one or two, but I didn't spend too much time there. So I don't really have an opinion for you on that part. I'm not really an acoustic guy. I do want an acoustic guitar because it would be good to have in the studio and when I'm writing and stuff. But I might try that. Believe it or not, I never thought I'd say this, but I might try that Fender Acoustasonic or whatever it's called. The new Strat one looks pretty cool, and I picked it up and felt the neck, and it's really nice. So for my needs, as far as having something that just does acoustic like that and plays like an electric guitar, it might work. But I just can't justify the price that they want for those things. I don't feel it's not that it's not worth it, but I think it's overpriced. So I'm not sure. I looked at Martin D28s, which I really like. I like them. Some Taylors. There's a couple of Taylors that I like. So we'll see. Probably this year I'll have an acoustic at some point. I just don't know what it'll be yet. Let me see. All right, I think I'm down at the bottom of the chat now, which is good. Acoustasonic sounds thin and boxy, feels great though. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to, try them more than a couple of minutes sitting there. The Fender booth is big and it's well done, but it's really not conducive to picking up things and trying them. There's only a few things you can do that to. And if there's people in there, a lot of people or whatever walking around, you basically can't. You just walk in a line and look at everything. So not, I much prefer the Gibson kind of vibe in their booth than I do the Fender. The Fender, I don't know. It's a different vibe. It's completely different, but they have nice stuff. I mean, some of the custom shops they're doing this year, the tellies are really nice, but you can't touch them. They're behind these ropes and everything, and it's just a different vibe altogether. So yeah. Gibson SJ200. I tried a J45 or something like that. And it was expensive, but it felt really good. They should have give you a 60s reissue with all the Gibson money you have spent already. I know, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know, and I guess it doesn't work that way. You buy your guitars, you don't get them free. I'd like to work with, because I am trying to get a Jared James Epiphone guitar, so hopefully I can work something with Al John and Epiphone to put that stuff on my channel, and maybe, they're not going to give me one, but if I get a break on them, it makes it a little bit easier. Who knows? Let's see, fortunately for me. But yeah, it's this. I looked at stuff at the EVH booth. I looked at the new Frankie, they call it, or whatever. It's priced right. I mean, it's about 1,500 US, and it felt like a great guitar. But I'm not, like I said, I'm pretty traditional as far as the guitars I like. So it's not something I would probably get. I could be wrong. I could try it and love it, but yeah, there's a lot of people in that booth where the EVH, Jackson, Charvels were really nice. I was like looking at some of those, and wow, nice stuff. But yeah, nothing really blew me away in that area. Obviously, they've got a lot of fanboys, so you always get a lot of people kind of hanging out there. But I mean, the stuff's nice, but I don't know if it's not my thing, I guess. Get a real acoustic. I bought a Yamaha F720 75 Craigslist, $75. Wow, hand solo. And 36 solo. Thanks for joining the chat, man. Yeah, $75 on Craigslist, and it's a good guitar. It's a great deal. Great deal. Hank Hill says, have you had a chance to try? Okay, yeah. Let me talk about that. The new Boss Waza Craft headphones. I've been interested in those as when they were announced. There's a couple of videos, people did some reviews, but obviously they're headphones. You can't really, they put them on these mics things that had ears, so you could kind of get a sense of what it did. But I'm telling you, it's nothing like actually putting a pair on and trying it with your guitar. And I had a chance to do that, and it blew me away. I mean, I was like, wow, it sounds really, really good. For something to just sit around at home and put the things on, and it comes with the wireless thing for your guitar. You just plug it in. You can control everything with your app as far as setting up your effects and which amp you want. And it's like using basically a katana in a headphone. And it sounded so good. Whatever setting this guy had it on, the demo that I tried, it was really good. And when you turn, you can have different settings. There's one setting where you can place your amp in front of you or in back of you, but it stays where you put it. So if I moved my head on one side, the sound would change accordingly, and I'd move my head on the other side, it would change again. So it had spatial recognition or something of that nature. And it was like, wow, this thing is amazing. Plus, you can play backing tracks right off your phone that all blends into the track of the headphones, but it puts the band behind you in a spatial way. So it feels like you're on stage and there's drums behind you and there's a bass on one side and another guitarist on the other side and a singer or whatever. But it feels like you're in that environment. It doesn't feel like just a backing track playing and you're playing to. You feel like you're part of the actual music and the band. So I was super impressed with that. And they're sold out everywhere. Like before I left, I checked some local music stores in Toronto and everybody was back ordered. So, and here I went on Guitar Center this morning and did a quick check to see if I could pick a pair up here before I left. And it said, I have to call them, but it didn't say they had stock. It said ships like in 2 weeks if I bought them. So that probably means they don't have stock either. So they're expecting shipments. I asked the guys at the Boss booth if I could buy a set right there from them, but obviously they can't. They don't sell at the show. I mean, I don't think they do. The guy said they don't at Boss, but I'll go back tomorrow before I leave and say, hey, maybe they'll slip one by me. I don't know, but they are really cool. That's something I am definitely getting this year for sure, because it's a great little thing. When you travel, you bring that with you. You don't need an amp or anything. And if you're just sitting at home and you don't want to plug in through your system or an amp or whatever, you just want to sit on the couch with some headphones on and not disturb anybody and get great sound, it's really cool. So that's my story about the headphones, the Waza headphones. R2, how's it going, R2? I always laugh at R2 because I give him some grief on his show. His show with Dave Stafford. I just love that. Him and Joe Wentz the other night, man. Go watch the replay if you haven't seen that show. It's pretty funny. Yeah, James Severin. I think Gibson is back on track for good now because they had a year to get everything, and they're definitely they're doing very well, I think, and they're putting out some great stuff. Let's see. Dale Palmer says, okay, hi, Dale. How's it going? Let's see. Yeah, Hank, definitely if you get a chance to try the Waza headphones, do it because I think they're really good. Okay, Dave R is back on his PC. That's good. Hey, Brian Stewart, Guitar Dudes and Dudettes. How's it going? Like virtual reality for years. Yeah, it's really weird at first when you put the headphones on and you strum a chord and you turn your head and you kind of feel it. But I don't know, whatever preset they had on there, it was so good. I could have played that all day and just had fun with it because it sounded great. And when they put the backing track, you're right in the music and you're playing along. You feel like you're part of the band. It's pretty neat. So definitely, if you do get a chance to try them, I think they're 300 something like that. But you get the headphones, you get the wireless thing. It's basically like their Boss wireless guitar system. You get the actual one, the piece that plugs into your guitar with that, and then it connects direct to your headphones. Your amp stuff is all done through your phone or your iPad. So it's pretty neat how they did that. Let's see. What about Marshall? Yeah, there's a video coming probably in the next couple of hours. I got it scheduled on my channel. I had an interview with the guys at Marshall this afternoon. So look for that. I can say there's nothing nothing like crazy new, but there's a couple of things that are new that were done before. Like, it's hard to explain. Watch, I'll let you watch the video. I don't want to ruin it, because then what's the point of putting out a video? But yeah, I did speak to the guys at Marshall today. Salut, BV. Have my Waza headphones with me when I travel now. They're great. Yeah, see, BB has a set of those Waza headphones and he likes them. I agree, BB. They are really cool. I see released a video, but I want to know, did it release? I can't remember. I can't even remember. I put up so much stuff and I've scheduled things, and I don't want to go off of this screen in case I drop but yeah, it might be. But just watch the video and you'll find out everything there is to find out about Marshall in 2020, what they're doing and what's out and all that stuff. What else we got here? Brian S. just booked a townhouse in Fort Wayne for GearFest. Awesome. I hope I can get out there, because that's one of the events I'd like to go to. It's just going to depend on some scheduling for me. I probably will know by the end of this month or next month what that time period. I think it's happening in June, that event. I'll find out more. I'd love to go back to Nashville, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Okay. The Waza headphones would be great for playing while traveling or practicing quietly at night. Yeah. Now, trust me, they are really good, and I think for that purpose, they're perfect. Okay, let me see here. So hopefully I didn't miss anybody in the chat here. Ron Limber, what's going on? What's the best thing you had to eat? Don't say no. I didn't even go to IHOP. You know what? I had dinner here in my hotel yesterday, because I was at a Line 6 event, and they didn't have food there. It was more of a press event type thing, so it was like a 2-hour thing, and it was started at 7:30. So I didn't go anywhere after I was done at NAMM, which was around 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I went right to that event and then waited for the doors to open, because I wanted to get a seat. I was like, my back was killing me because I was on my feet all day. So then I went into that event. So when I got out, it was already like 9 o'clock. But when I got back to the hotel, I just ordered room service. So I got a steak from here, and it was good. It was fine. But the other nights that I've been here have all been catered by Gibson. So they have prime rib and all this stuff right at their event. And it was like free booze. I didn't drink that much. I had a couple of beers and that's it. But I mean, you could have beer or whatever you wanted as far as drinks. They had like a place where you can make like tacos and stuff, a little thing there, and they had prime rib and all. It was really good, but I didn't have to pay for any of that stuff. So I didn't really go to a restaurant, but I went to those two events. And tonight, once I'm done this, I'm probably going to grab something quick, because I have to go to the Anaheim Stadium for the motocross race that starts at 6:30. So what time is it now? 5. So I'm going to probably leave here around 5:30 and then grab something quick and get to the race on time. And, so I haven't been to any like crazy restaurants, but the food I've had has been good. So Gibson knows how to throw a party, let's put it that way, when it comes to that stuff. Brian S. says it's cheaper than a hotel so to rent a townhouse is cheaper. Yeah, it makes sense. And Jack Rabbit Gear Fest, I think, is happening June. Yeah, Brian S. says June 26th and 27th. Can anyone go? Yes, anybody can go to that event. You don't need to be a NAMM or whatever it is they do here. Gear Fest is open. Do they allow, Thrash says, do they allow for like an aux input to jam with MP3s? How about output some? No, I don't think there is an output on the, if you're talking about the headphones, which I think is what you're talking about, it doesn't have a head output. And the way you bring audio in to jam with and stuff it's just whatever you have on your device. If you have an iPhone or an iPad or something, if you have your music library, you bring it in through Bluetooth. Gearfest is NAMM, where normal people can actually buy stuff. Yeah, it's like we have an event like that in Toronto at Cosmo Music, that the store that I go to a lot. They have something called Music Fest. Gear Fest or something like that. And it's kind of a mini version of what Gear Fest is. And, you know, you can go and buy stuff. It's basically an event like that. So bring your money if you're going to Gear Fest. You might be able to score some deals. Don't be late for Supercross. No, it will not be late. It's not that far from me actually. It's I think the guy said it's only like 4 miles away, but you have to take the highway. So I got to Uber. Uber's been my mode of transportation because my hotel that I'm at is about I'd say 15-minute walk or 20-minute walk from the convention center. So I just come out of the convention center, hit my button on my app, and somebody picks me up. And then I come back to the hotel. So it works well. There's a ton of Uber stuff here. So let's see. Take your camera. I'm not taking a camera. Actually, I'm taking just my phone, and I'll take some pictures with that. I'm traveling very light tonight. I've actually traveled light for this whole trip. All those videos that you see that I'm posting were all done with my GoPro Hero 7 and that little mic setup I showed you guys in one of my live stream, what I was bringing. I brought that, and it's worked out perfect. It's really been very, very good and easy to move around and mobile, and the quality of the video is really good. I'm shooting in 2.7K, 60 frames per second. Then when I bring it into editing and I just output it in 1080p, 60 frames. So I have a little bit of room if I need to punch into something or, you know, reframe. So I think, yeah, for that, it's just this little camera here. It's been doing most of the work. I also have, I have an old iPhone 6 or 7 that I wasn't using. I brought that with me. So in case I wanted to shoot with the phone as well, in case I have extra batteries and things, but the batteries on the GoPro, depending, you know, I think you can, in 2.7K, I think you can get about an hour's worth of shooting before the battery dies. So I have like 4 batteries and I can change them if I need to. And I have some portable rechargeable battery things. So I've been okay, and that's worked out really well. And I didn't bring all kinds of stuff with me like I usually would have. I would have brought another bag full of lenses and camera bodies and all that in the past. And that was getting a little much. And for what I needed to do, I didn't need to do that. And I don't want to bring stuff to the race tonight because they're going to check the bags as you walk in. And there's always sometimes if they don't allow cameras, and who knows, right? So it's just another hassle I don't want to deal with. The other cool thing about tonight is right there at the Anaheim Stadium is the place called The Grove. And that's where the big Gibson party was on Thursday, where Slash and everybody was. It's like a big concert hall bar type of place. And tonight it's I have tickets for it. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. After I leave Supercross, I'm just going to walk across the street and go to that bar because Black Label Society is playing tonight with some other bands as part of a Schecter event. So I've got tickets to that because I went to the Schecter booth and with the Tone King and Phil McKnight, and they got tickets, so I got them. So depending on what time Supercross, I think Supercross will end around 10 o'clock here, and I think that show is probably going to go till like midnight, and probably Black Label Society will only be going on around 10 o'clock or 10:30. If that's the case, then I'll be able to see Zach and Black Label, which would be awesome. So that's the plan. But I do have to get up tomorrow morning because I have that appointment with Dave Friedman, and I don't want to miss that because he's going to give me an interview, and so I didn't think I would get that, and he actually put it in his calendar and marked my name and everything, so I don't want to screw that up. So I shouldn't go out and get plastered tonight and not be able to wake up tomorrow morning. That Cosmo event looks like a fun time. Yeah, Cosmo event's fun. It's definitely, it's not that big, but it's a lot of fun. It's free, and there's always concerts and bands and all kinds of stuff. DR Guitars, they were practically giving away R9s at Gear Fest. Well, if that's the case, I'll be there because I would like them to give me an R9. That would be awesome. Even though I have one, I'll take another one. Let's see, I'm just going down here. Found a couple typos on about to and add. Everything from motocross racing to fast cars to great music commercial. Yeah, I know, right? By the time I go home, I'll be able to say I've experienced all all the stuff in my list of things that I'm passionate about: music, guitars, concerts, motocross racing, great weather, motorcycles in 1 week. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yes, go see Black Label. Yeah, well, that's the plan. Like, I'll bring the tickets with me, and if I get out of the Supercross race, I'll go right there because I can walk right there, and I'll go in. And if they haven't played yet, then I'll stay and watch their concert. If not, then I'll just grab an Uber from that area and come back here. Can't wait to see the interview with Friedman. Yeah, R2. He's a nice guy. I met him today when I went to talk to him, and he was really nice. I said, do you have a few minutes to talk to me about, I'd like to do a little quick run through of your new amps that you have for 2020. And he was there, yeah, sure. And he looked at my tags as 6-String Brian. You got a YouTube channel and everything. And I said, yeah. So he was really cordial to me. And I was like, he says, yeah, let me mark it in my calendar right now. And he marked my name there. He says, let's put it for tomorrow morning. And so we have a set time, and he's going to block the little room where all the amps are. So it's really cool that he's doing that. Didn't think that would happen, but see, you never know unless you ask, right? And I'm not, like, I'm getting better since doing this stuff to be in that situation and not be like the guy that's too shy or too, like, don't want to bother this guy or whatever. I'm still very, like, when I assess the situation, and if they're too busy or if it doesn't seem like the right time, I don't approach anybody for something. But if the opportunity is there, I will go ask now, and without thinking like they're not going to talk to me. Who am I, right? But you'd be surprised if you just go talk to somebody. They're willing to give you a chance and to talk to you. Let's see. That pasted from your website about page. Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll go fix that. Thanks, Rash. Okay. All right. So that's about it. I don't have anything else. I guess I should start to get ready here and go get something to eat before I go to this race thing. And I'll post some pictures, and I'll try to take a quick video clip with my phone if you're interested in seeing that. And if I do get if I'm on time to watch the Black Label thing, I'll take a few photos and maybe a quick video of that and post that for you guys. Other than that, I don't know if I'll be able to film anything in there. But BV says, good, the appointment with Dave in the morning. Yes. The bar takes its toll later on. Yeah. Quentin says, great pics and videos. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said, I'm trying to do a few different things and just focus on maybe a couple of live things and maybe a few products, and just products that I'm really into as far as amps and guitars and so forth. I know it's pretty centric to Gibson, Marshall, Line 6, whatever, but it's still content that maybe is a little different than what everybody else is putting out there, because there's so much content. I mean, I'm looking at the feed and I'm seeing a ton of stuff, so I even feel bad about posting anything because it's just too much. But if it's a little different than everybody else's, then I'm fine with it. Let me open this light. There we go. That's a little better. Let's see. Jeez, Thrash. Yeah, send me an email and basically rewrite my about page with all the corrections. That would be easier than me going through it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get you, BB. I mean, Dave's in-room bar. Yeah, there's a bar in the Friedman booth. You can walk into where Dave's amps are and everything. He's got a bar there, so you can get a drink or whatever. I have another video of Sammy Bowler and Dave Black, I believe his name is. Dave Black is a guitarist for a band called Deuce, I think. They're a band from Detroit. They used to be real big in the 80s, but he's a good friend of Dave's, so he's there playing as well. And when you're in that room, like I posted one video that you guys have seen, if you haven't seen it, go on my channel and watch it, of Sammy and Dave playing in that Friedman booth with those amps cranked and 412s. And it sounds amazing. They put a backing track on and it's cranked in there, like, because they have the soundproof booth, and it friggin' rocks. It's like, wow, I wish I could play at that volume all the time and get a sense that you get like from that amp and that cab at that event, like that at that volume. It's so percussive and it sounds really good. The video sounds cool, but it's almost overwhelming for the camera mic. Like I would use an external mic and it was like I could see it peaking like left and right. And so it came out okay, but man, when you're in that room, wow, it is something else. Oh, won a 31. You got the package? Awesome. I'm glad you got his, he got his headphones that he won a few weeks ago from my show. So I'm glad you got that. Awesome. Because I was shipped overseas and it's a kind of I'm not used to writing those addresses or different addresses than we, as far as format. So I'm glad I did it right. I saw that one. I like Sammy. Yeah, Sammy's a monster player, man. No, I appreciate it, Thrash. I know you're not busting my chops. I really appreciate it because, like I said, I don't always have time to do that stuff, and it's good that somebody else can tell me when it's not right. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta go. I gotta run and get some food and figure out all this timing stuff that I gotta get done and go get to my race. I actually get to see a Supercross race in Anaheim Stadium. I cannot believe that's happening, but looks like it is. So thanks for jumping in and spending an hour with me here as I catch up with you folks. I won't be doing my live show Monday because I don't get back to Toronto before, I think I land at 9 o'clock at night. And by the time I land, get to my truck and get home, we're going to be talking like 11, maybe even midnight by the time I get home. So there won't be a show on Monday night. I'll try to do a live stream sometime next week. We'll see how that works out on a time that nobody else is streaming. If not, then I'll just wait till my Monday show and we'll do the regular Monday Night Ramble at that point. All right. Thank you very much, Dale, BV. What you going to buy, Jakey Lee, Steve? I don't know if I'll be buying a Friedman amp. I wish I could, but yeah, they're nice. They're nice, but they're a little out of my budget right now. Oh, thank you, Top Notch Picks, Brian Cote, Commerce. Yes, yeah. I haven't posted a lot of new pictures on there from other projects. I've been focusing so much on the YouTube channel and the music stuff that my photography web page, which is there, but I haven't updated the portfolio in a while. I should do that when I get home. Thanks, Dave R. Safe travels, yes. And hopefully the snow's all done by the time I get to traveling on Monday, because that would suck to get back home in a snowstorm. That would not be fun. But it is what it is. I was going to take Tuesday off from work, but I have a live stream to produce that day at work. So Monday night I get home, I go right to bed. I wake up at 5 in the morning and got to get to a regular job and do that. So because otherwise I would have took Tuesday off and been able to sleep in and get a little bit of recuperation. But that's just the way it works. It's the way it works. So thanks everybody for joining the stream. This worked out well, I guess. StreamYard seems to work for these types of things when I don't have my regular studio set up, but it's really cool. Kind of surprised I didn't rent a bike to get around LA. Yeah, I know. I just didn't have time, man. It's just run. Everything is like crazy. If I could have stayed an extra week just to do that, I would have, but it didn't work out. I actually have a keyboard. Oh, okay, Brad. You're just in time. I'm leaving. You can watch the replay. Well, it happens, folks. Get some free samples. Yeah, I got a few things. I got some shirts. I got some picks. A few little things. Not that much. I'm not really. I don't know. I don't like going to a booth and grabbing everything that's there. But I did get the Reb shirt, 2-Note shirt. Gibson gave me some stuff. few things, nothing major. Steal a lot of picks. I have a lot of picks, all kinds of these. I got a Nerd Alien pick. I met Caleb and he gave me a Nerd Alien pick. Premier Guitar, obviously, they got picks everywhere. Vola, but the problem is a lot of the picks I pick up, I don't use them. I like a thicker pick, and a lot of them aren't the thickness that I like. So, but they're nice for souvenirs and stuff. So, all right, I'm just checking here. Okay, everything's cool. All right. Have a great night, folks. And like I said, watch for the next. There's a bunch of videos that'll be released tomorrow and Monday. They're all scheduled, so they'll be coming out. There's one on Marshall. There's one on this plugin thing that I was looking at. There's a couple of live things happening from the Gibson event that I hadn't posted yet. You're going to see that. I tried to post the Hotel California with Don Felder and Slash playing together, but it got flagged right away on YouTube, so I don't think they're going to allow that one. But it is what it is. All right. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.